Could some ghosts be caused by a wrinkle in time? Let's find out right now on What the Fetch. Hey weirdos, I'm Grant. A temporal anomaly refers to the theory that two different time periods can overlap, causing a bleed-through of one time period over the other and vice versa. Essentially, experiencing another person in their time period as they experience you in yours. For example, when we investigated the Mount Washington Hotel, we captured two separate minute-and-a-half long EVPs of a woman from the early 1900s acting like she could hear us in her time. She was saying such things like, "Of course I can hear you. Where are you? And I do not find this amusing." She even ended the conversation by saying she was going to get security, and then she left the room. It was as if we were the ghosts haunting her. She could have just been an intelligent human haunting, or she could have been alive and well, living her life, hearing these disembodied voices, thinking we were ghosts haunting her. If that were the case, then neither one of us are actually ghosts haunting anyone. We were just two different time periods somehow bleeding into one another. I can't say for sure, but it's fun to think about, right? I'd love to find out if she kept a journal. And if she did she write about this strange occurrence? If so, that would be some amazing evidence. Now, it may even be possible for you to haunt yourself this way. Bear with me. We did this one case with a new investigator, a trainee. Three of us headed over to investigate the guest bedroom. As we approached the doorway to the bedroom, all three of us saw a shadowy figure on the far side of the room between the bed and the wall. Now, the trainee, upon seeing this, freaked out a little bit and went downstairs, very rapidly. Now, the other investigator and myself were able to head over to the entity, where I was able to pass my arm through it, back and forth. It felt a little cold, and like there was a slight static charge. After I passed my arm back and forth through this entity, it then darted around the edge of the bed, past us, and out the room. Several weeks later, we were back at the location with the same trainee, and I encouraged her to be strong and go back up to the bedroom. Shortly after being up there, she came running down the stairs and told me an interesting story. She said that when she was in the bedroom between the bed and the far wall, that she saw three shadowy figures approach the doorway. One of them rapidly moved away back into the hall. Then the other two came into the bedroom and one of them passed its arm through her. Now, this freaked her out so much that she ran around the edge of the bed, out the room, and downstairs. Now, stop. Do the math. In both instances, the same events transpired. Did an unknown ghost come up and pass its arm through her? Or was it me from the past coming up and putting my arm through her in the present? Crazy, right? It actually happens more than you might think. Everyone I know who has been investigating long enough, and intensely enough, has at least one story like this. Now, it's all circumstantial, I know, but something odd is happening here. And as a good investigator, I have to try to understand it. Now, if this theory is true, it raises some interesting questions, such as, if this is actually caused by two different time periods overlapping, why do we only seem to experience people from the somewhat recent past? And why don't we experience people from the far distant future? You know, in their shiny metallic jumpsuits that all 50s movies demand that we're all destined to wear. Well, in the story I just related, I believe I saw someone from the future, but they appeared as a shadowy figure. There wasn't enough detail to know where in time it actually came from. But sometimes you may get solid clues. You may see a figure in 50s clothing, or you may see a figure in modern day clothing, or you may pick up subtle cues in their speech. Either way, it seems that these temporal anomalies do not extend much more than 100 years in any given direction. So, chances are we would experience a temporal overlap of someone from the year 2019 to the year 3018, rather than the year 14486. That's the year humanity will actually embrace the 50s metallic jumpsuit. That being said, many people may actually experience a future temporal anomaly and not even know it. Do some people confuse a temporal anomaly with an alien encounter? Think about it. Many people claim to have brief encounters with what appear to be more elegant and technically advanced, human-like aliens. What if they aren't aliens at all? But I digress. This might also explain why we don't have temporal overlaps of dinosaurs. Still digressing, sorry. Another good question is, how could this even be possible given our current place in the universe? Let me clarify. The Earth rotates at over 1,000 miles per hour at the equator and moves around the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour. Beyond that, our Sun, and therefore our entire solar system, is whipping around the galaxy at 448,000 miles per hour. And then our galaxy itself is rocketing towards our nearest neighbor, the Andromeda galaxy, at 70 miles per second. So if I were thinking back to a time when I was at Burger King enjoying their cheesy tots and wanted to travel back in time to relive such a great memory, even if I went back just a couple of days, I wouldn't be at Burger King, I'd be floating somewhere in space, not about to enjoy the tots. How then is it possible that we can have temporal anomalies like this? Now, if these temporal anomalies were man-made, it would be very easy to compensate for our journey through the cosmos and not ending up in space through the use of mathematical formula and calculations. But we're talking about seemingly natural temporal anomalies. Maybe the warping of space-time caused by gravity or the Earth's magnetic field is somehow keeping these events locked locally. I don't know, and I can only speculate. And that's the beauty of taking off the blinders and diving headfirst into the mysteries of the universe. We don't know yet. We're the ones that get to ask these questions for future generations to answer. Anyway, it makes me think twice about the paranormal experiences I've had. It's easy to label them as ghosts, but don't be blinded by that. Force yourself to think past that and keep an open mind. It could be weirder. So hopefully now you're thinking a bit about temporal anomalies. Could any of your past paranormal experiences be temporal anomalies? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Stay weird.